Your AHU delivers one supply air temperature, usually 55 degrees, one duct, one number, one big fan pushing cold air into the building. But your building has dozens of zones, corner offices that overheat from solar load, interior conference rooms packed with bodies and laptops, storage closets that need almost nothing. One supply temperature can't make them all happy. So how does every zone get exactly the right amount of cold air? That's the VAV box's job, and how well you tune it is the difference between a building that works and a building that fights you every day. So what is a VAV box? Physically, it's a sheet metal box sitting in line with the ductwork, usually above the ceiling. Inside, you've got an inlet, a damper blade, a flow sensor, a DDC controller, and on many boxes, a reheat coil, either hot water or electric. One box per zone or per zone group. The AHU sends cold air down the main duct. The VAV box decides how much of that cold air actually gets into your office. There are three common flavors you'll see in the field. Single duct, cooling only, just a damper and a flow sensor, cheapest, used where you never need heat. Single duct with reheat, adds a coil so the box can warm the air back up for heating season or perimeter zones. And fan-powered boxes, which come in two styles, series and parallel. Fan-powered boxes pull return air from the ceiling plenum and mix it with primary cold air. More hardware, more cost, but they handle big load swings and cold climates better. Now the core control idea, this is where most techs lose the plot. A VAV box runs two nested control loops. The outer loop is temperature. The zone thermostat compares zone temp to set point and generates a CFM demand. To warm means more cold air, so demand goes up. The inner loop is airflow. It takes that CFM demand as its set point and modulates the damper to hit it. This is called pressure-independent control, because duct static pressure can swing all day long and the box still delivers the CFM the zone asked for. Pressure-dependent boxes, which just position the damper directly, drift all over the place when the AHU ramps up or down. Nobody installs those anymore, but you'll find them in old buildings and you'll hate them. The flow sensor is the piece everyone gets wrong. It's a multi-point pitot averaging ring at the inlet of the box. It reads the velocity pressure of the incoming air as a tiny differential pressure, usually fractions of an inch of wire column. The controller converts that pressure into CFM using a K factor, which is a box-specific constant from the manufacturer. If your flow reading looks crazy, 90% of the time it's the sensor lines. Cracked tubing, kinked line, pickups clogged with construction dust, or the lines swapped between high and low ports. Always check the tubing before you blame the controller. Let's walk through cooling. Zone temperature climbs above the cooling set point. The outer loop output ramps up. CFM set point rises from the minimum cooling airflow, Vmin cooling, toward the maximum cooling airflow, Vmax cooling. The inner loop sees the new CFM target and drives the damper more open until the measured flow matches. Cold air pours into the zone. Zone temp starts coming down. The loops back off. All automatic, all smooth if the tuning is right.
Heating mode is where modern sequences get interesting. The old way was single maximum. On a call for heat, the damper just opened up and the reheat valve followed. Wasted energy because you were heating a lot of air. The G36 standard is dual maximum. Stage 1, airflow drops all the way to the minimum heating value, Vmin heating, which is usually just your ventilation code minimum. Stage 2, the reheat valve opens, 0 to 100%, to heat that minimum airflow. Only if you still can't meet the set point does Stage 3 kick in, where airflow ramps up to Vmax heating while the valve stays open. You heat less air at a higher temperature, which uses less energy than heating a lot of air a little bit. Between heating and cooling, there's a deadband. Zone temp sits happily between set points. Airflow stays at minimum for ventilation. Reheat stays off. Damper sits quiet. This is the state you want your building in most of the day. If your boxes are thrashing between heating and cooling, your deadband is too narrow or your loops are hunting. Now let's read how this looks in a real sequence of operations. First, the cooling loop. When zone temperature exceeds the cooling set point, the primary airflow set point shall modulate between Vmin cooling and Vmax cooling to maintain zone temperature. Reheat valve shall remain closed. Simple. One sentence, one job. Then heating, written dual max style. Stage 1. Airflow set point shall be Vmin heating. Stage 2. If zone temperature remains below set point, reheat valve shall modulate from 0 to 100%. Stage 3. If temperature still falls short, airflow set point shall modulate from Vmin heating to Vmax heating with reheat valve at 100%. 3 stages, clear order, energy efficient. What actually goes wrong in the field? Hunting loops, where the damper oscillates open and closed every few seconds because the proportional gain is too aggressive. Stuck dampers, linkage seized, actuator burned out, damper never actually moves. Failed flow sensor reading 0 CFM even though air is clearly flowing, usually kinked or disconnected tubing. Reheat valve leaking by, heating the zone in the middle of summer because the valve seat is worn. Wrong Vmin set for the zone, violating ventilation code. And classic pneumatic to DDC retrofits, where the mechanical linkage is still binding on an old damper shaft and the new actuator can't fully stroke it. How do you commission a VAV box? 4 quick tests. 1. Override airflow to Vmax cooling and check the damper drives wide open and the measured CFM is within 10% of target. 2. Override to Vmin and confirm the damper closes to its minimum position, not fully shut, minimum. 3. Override reheat to 0, 50, 100 and watch the valve stroke. 4. Trend zone temp, airflow, damper position, and reheat valve for a full day. If you see the box happily in deadband most of the occupied hours, you've got a healthy zone. If it's hunting or stuck at one end, you've got work to do. VAV tuning is where my BAS works becomes my BAS actually saves money. Get these loops right and your AHU fan speed drops, your reheat energy drops, and your occupants stop calling. Get them wrong and you'll chase hot and cold calls forever. Next episode, PID Loops, P and I and D. How to tune them without guessing. Field Tech Fundamentals.